Hey everybody, let me get this out of the way. And by everybody, maybe two people. Not the keyboard we're working on today. The keyboard, or at least one of them, that we are working on today, by the way, is this. It's the Galatin Pro. This was actually sent over to me by ReDragon for a review. Actually, I'm going to be doing my first written review for Reddit on this and kind of spreading it around. But I decided that I would, in fact, do an unboxing. It's kind of early for me to get a commercial already. Yeah, this is an 1800, which I am personally a fan of. I don't know about any of you, but it is kind of a low budget. Comes in around $70 through Amazon or through their website. I think you can actually get a discount on it as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. Did cut that tape already? So, in the box, as per ReDragon's usual thing, you get stickers. As a matter of fact, I think it's the same stickers that they've had for a while now. We'll come back to the keyboard. Let's check out the accessories. And the accessories you get is a nylon cable. It's an A to L C cable, which I think the connector, the USB-C connector for this is located on the side. And if I'm right, this should be switches, either replacement switches or other switches. Looks like replacement switches for the stock switches that are included. I always like the fact that they include them. I think that it's kind of a nice packaging, kind of excess. And then a combination keycap switch puller. And that is what's in the box. What's in the box? You think my mic settings are lower than before? Let me see. Properties. My mic settings are as high as they can go. I think I can turn up my gain a little or pull it towards me a little bit more. Let's see. Let me know if I blow you out. How about now? Is that better, Dingo? I turned up the gain a little. We'll see how it works. See if I have to turn it back down. Maybe I'm just mumbling today. It's a Sunday. Happy Father's Day if you're a father. Happy Father's Day if you're not a father. Alright, here's the keyboard. Just first look at it. It kind of has a sculpted profile. As I said, definitely there's that USB-C connector on the side, which means that the back is going to be bare. Looks like it is, in fact, held together with screws. These are Phillips screws, and that's not bad. If we're going to be pulling it apart, which I might do later. There is a container for the dongle, and I think it's just friction fit, but it's pretty well friction fit. And then you have the front. Now, the Galatin only comes in this colorway, which is kind of a beige, sagey colorway. And then it has RGB and the screen. It has 2 position feet. So, and we'll leave those up. And the little screen. Now I'm looking at the little screen, and it's not bad looking, but it's definitely a very similar screen to the one that is included on the RK-S98. It's probably the same software. It's very interesting that they have this whole area here for the screen and the knob, but the screen, it makes it look small. It's not bad, and the screen's not a bad size, but just the way they did it, it makes it look small. So starting off, let's go ahead and do, first of all, let's get rid of those stickers, because stickers. I love stickers, not those. And we're going to start off with a little sound test. So here we go. I mean, that's stock. I would say that if you were looking for a budget keyboard, and I mean, this could definitely fit the bill for you. It's not bad. That top row with these switches, maybe not the best, but spacebar is not bad. There's some rattle in the inner. I'm expecting these to be plate mount, and let's take a look. Wow, that really didn't want to go. Yes, plate mount. These are the Mamba switches. And these are, I have that up here. So 5 layers of absorption. I will tell you that based on the weight, I would say it's not as thick as some of the other ones. But the actuation force on these Mamba switches, Mambo, not Mamba, not a snake, but dance. Not La Bamba, that's different. And not the forbidden dance, the Lambada. We're totally not going to allow them to send me notifications. Actuation travel, standard 2 millimeters. Actuation force, like I said, it's kind of on the lighter side at 40 grams, and the total travel is 3.6, so not crazy. I don't know what makes them special, but I can tell you that it seems pretty standard. Looking underneath, it has a clear polycarbonate plate, north facing RGB if you're into that, which is good for shining through keycaps if that's what you're going for. They didn't, so kind of wasting it. Does not support PCB mounted stabilizers. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the lube situation, somewhere where you can see it. Come on, here, there we go. So they're not lubed poorly, so I'm not exactly sure where all this rattle's coming from. I might just try to see if I can even this out a little bit. Maybe I'll add some. Yeah, I bet it was there. There's some. Here, let's try putting this back together. We'll put the switch, the original Mambo switch back in. I will say that I plan on rebuilding this today with some of my new favorite switches. And that is the Finickies. Okay. Gotta remember, I gotta go against my brain to make sure that I invert the switch, because, And then we're also going to be trying some cherry profile keycaps on these things. Desoldering an OEM Logitech board. Wow. I don't think it's really a rattle so much as I think it might just be a combination of the switch and the PCB. Before I do anything on, well, let's take a look at the inside. We'll take off this knob because we're going to need to. Flip it over. With these. Grab our trusty little iFixit toolkit. Unsponsored, but if they wanted to sponsor me, I'd take it, just like Coke Zero. Coke Zero, a thing I drink like every day. I am going to be doing that with a, I think it's a K2, Keychron K2 that I got at an auction for like 20 bucks. And I'm in the process of desoldering it as well to try my hand at doing more soldering, because I actually have boards that are just waiting for me to learn how to solder. And then I just got this, Ooh. It'll run for 60 minutes on a charge without having to be plugged in. I can plug it in and just do it for infinite. And it runs off a USB-C. So I could run it off of a like a Shark. I have a Shark battery pack with like 20,000 milliamp hours, and I could probably run that for a couple hours. So these screws are a pain in the butt to get out, and that is disappointing because I can already tell that they are they're not going into any type of metal fitting, because I can see plastic shavings already on it, which means that, well, you might be able to go into this keyboard once, twice, that every time you do, two things are going to potentially happen to you. One is you're going to strip out the holes, in which case you're going to try and put the screw in. Obviously, it's just going to spin. The other thing is, because this is a Phillips head, that these are cheap Phillips head screws, and you're going to end up stripping your Phillips head screw, and then you either won't be able to put it in or take it out because of that. Very interesting, though. I can already see it starting to want to open in the front, which tells me that this thing could just be like some of the EpoMaker boards that I've seen, like the RT100, where they just fill it full of foam. So I'm going to try to be careful with opening and later on reclosing this. But I did want to take a look at the inside and see how this is put together for science. So for an amateur, someone who just wants a custom keyboard, something that they can play around with, this isn't a bad choice if you like the colorway. Again, you're stuck with this mint greenish type thing, like a light sage. There are no other color choices, and since it's as opposed to something like the Linky 87, for instance, by Electbox, their keyboards are all white and get the colorway just from the keycaps. Which means that when you get it, you can go ahead and change up basically the entire theme of the board. But in this case, you're kind of stuck with the green, and you just kind of got to deal with it. Now it's on the bottom. It does peek through on the sides and on the front, but not too bad. Anyway, let's see. Got to be careful. We do have the screen, so I got to see how that's connected. It is connected with a long ribbon cable. I like that. Because that's plenty good enough for us to do this. Then we take this, take a look here, and see how this is fitting in here. It looks like it is going to be, yes. So, let's take a look here, and we're going to flip this up. So, you can see here that this is the battery that is connected to the PCB here. This is a ribbon cable that leads to the daughter board. This is the foam. This foam is not great, but it's foam, I guess. And then you have the silicone bottom. Let's get this foam out of the way. We got the silicone bottom. And like I said, the silicone bottom is not, I'm actually not going to take this completely apart. Come back here. The silicone bottom is, it's just kind of a couple millimeters thin, so not really going to do too much, but it does help with sound tweaking. And then we have our one on here. Are you glued on? You have the gaskets, and I think the gaskets are glued onto the plate. So we're going to leave those alone, because I don't want to break the board, because either they're going to want me to send it back. They did do light isolation here for these lights, and that I appreciate. They're either going to want this keyboard back, or I'm going to end up seeing if anybody wants it. Maybe if people are interested, I could do it as part of a giveaway. Which there is a giveaway right now. As soon as I hit 10 subscribers, I will, either on that stream or the next, I will be giving away a Linky 87, which is a TKL keyboard by, like I said before, Electbox. They sent it to me for review and were kind enough to say, hey man, that's cool, you can just keep it and give it away to one of your subs. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'll do that. So those are great guys, and I appreciate them for it. So normally I would take out the PCB. Make sure you don't over screw into plastic, because that's the easiest way to strip it out. But you also need to make sure that it is all together. So it's kind of a catch-22. Also try to always make sure that you use the right bit, because the right bit of screw is going to lock in that screw, basically. Which you want, because an unlocked screw is the easiest way to strip a Phillips head. I feel like I'm making all kinds of weird innuendos today. It's funny. I don't think I am. I just kind of feel it. Okay. So normally, like I was saying, I would take out the PCB and lay it flat in order to change out the switches, if I decide to change out the switches. We're definitely changing out the keycaps. I have some WinMix Cherry Profile double shot PVT keycaps that we're going to drop on here and see how they sound. I think they're going to change it, and I think they'll be better. But the look, I think, is going to be a little bit more, because these big legends and stuff. All right. So you have a little bit of flex in the PCB. Make sure this is all working again. Screen's fine. Although, it looks like it's already got scuffs, which is weird, since we just opened it today. Where's my cleaning cloth? Let's go with blue. Oh. That's because there's a peel, everybody. It's very appealing for me. Get it? Happy Father's Day. Oh, yeah, that's much better. That looks much better. Should have done that. I should have led with that. This knob is plastic, matching the rest of the keyboard as being plastic. Not a bad knob. It's good tactility as far as the button push and that, and you can do a lot of different controls with it. Okay, screwdriver, let's go get rid of you. You are good to go, screwdriver. Thank you, iFixit. And now, let's see, just to test, we're going to try. See, when you have plastic plates, sometimes if the switch and the keycap are very snug, and they love each other a lot, then they will come out together. So I do want to keep taking advantage, and actually take advantage more, of the RGB that's in here. So we are going to be using... Nope. Nope. Yep. So this is the Finickies HMX collab switch. It is the Chew, which I think means raw, first encounter switch. It is a little bit heavier in its operating force at 42 grams over the 40. Since it's an HMX switch, it's got a little bit more of a clack to it. But let's try it with the stock keycaps. So this is the original Mambo switches. That's these guys right here. And here is the HMX. You hear that difference? I mean, just changing the switches. There is such a difference here. And the reason why I really love those switches. Now, taking that, they still love each other. After all this time, oh, it's only been 5 seconds. I'm going to take out the K. Now, that's not to say that the Mambo switches are bad. I mean, there are some decent ReDragon switches. I personally love ReDragon Crystal Pandas. They are keen. Oh, except for I didn't want to actually take those out. I'm going to go back in. I don't need F, I need G, H, J, and K. So you guys go back in. You go back in. You come here. If you have a... Here's the keycaps that we're using. This is the WinMX. I think it's their leaf green set. It is greener than it appears on my camera today, which also seems to be kind of off kilter. I think everything about me is off kilter today. How weird. So we're going to do 2 experiments with this set, and that is right there. So first we have the original switches and the original keycaps. Then we have the original switches, but with cherry profile keycaps, which completely become muted. And then we have the HMX switches with the new keycaps. That's It's interesting that it needs the height from these keycaps in order to really have much of a sound. I mean, the finickies is still a better sounding switch, but maybe I just want to keep the keycaps with the finickies. Y'all think? Let go. Okay. A couple more finickies. Alright, so this is the finickies on the cherry. This is the finickies on the original keycaps. And the original switches with the original keycaps. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I wanted to mute it completely, I would use the cherry. So that's interesting. I think we'll just put these away. I think we'll use the original keycaps with it. Just change out the switches. Apparently it's a changing out the switches kind of day for the adept. And changing out the switches on the Agar, which is going to come later, is not really needed so much as I'm just experimenting with it. I'm just learning my Agar. I had cilantros on it for a while. And those are nice. They were nice on it, but I find that I want to use it less with tactility. Alright, so let's try changing out some other switches and make sure that this is the way I want to go. And here, and spacebar, and enter. Grab these two. Notice that there is sound isolators in right here on either side of the spacebar. So the reason that I replaced these particular switches is because I can test out some of the stabilized modifiers, and I just say the word heya, H-E-Y-A. That is kind of a nice rhythmic, uses multiple rows, not all the rows, well, it uses the shit, kind of, it's close, besides the number row or the function row. So put the spacebar back in. Enter key. Now I'm interested to see how the enter key plays. Hey, End of Greatness, thank you for joining me. How have you been? Still sounds a little ticky on this side, but I don't think I'm going to do any better with the steps that are in here. Gotta live life. Gotta make the most of it. As best you can. I do that by keyboards. In case y'all didn't know. Yeah, maybe. I can get some long pole stabs for it. I mean, it depends on where I want to go with this keyboard. Like, is it going to go back? Because if so, obviously I'm not going to do anything with it. It's going to go to one of you. In which case, maybe I'll invest a little bit into it. They'll probably come with the original switches, but only because HMX switches are really expensive. But for today, we are gonna do some experimentation with the switches. Oof. You can see this is going to be a pain in my tuchus. Except for that one. That one's fine. How about this one? They're fine. And then after we switch out, it's true. I mean, I have some boards. I always feel weird. That flew, but that landed good. Because like I have an RK61 that I did some mods to back when I was first starting. That I wouldn't have a problem with just doing a giveaway for, just to give it away, just to put it in the hands of somebody else who might want to play with it. The only problem is that I feel as if the RK61, especially that old, because like, I mean, we're talking, I got it probably back in 2022, 2021. So, I mean, it's just been sitting around. I did some experimenting on it. I think it's even secondhand. I just don't know that anybody would want it. That's my thing. Like in any of the Discords I'm in, I don't know that anybody would want the keyboards that I want to give away. I, of course, wonder if that's the reason why I'm not getting... Well, I only have so many people here. Like right now, we've got 7 viewers. Anybody over... I can't tell if there's anybody over on my YouTube stream, but nobody's chatting, so who knows. So it's a very limited pool as to if anybody would want it. And some people are just friends from other Discords, so not even necessarily keyboard people. I don't know if they would want it. It would just be nice, really to get more viewers hyped to come watch me rip out switches, which is what today's gonna be all about apparently. Because I mean, did not want to let go. So these are snug, and these are double shot. I'm guessing PBT by the feel. old kale. What about something like this? I think that would work for you. These are kale speed bronzes, clickies. But I think all of that line are 3-pin and have that gap for you. These do. So these would totally work in your scenario, probably. Anyway. Oh, come on, you. That one was so hard that it didn't come out, but the one next to it did. Oh, right, because that switch was one of mine. Yeah, at one point, I found my old, because like, the keyboard I used up until I started in the keyboard community, someone reminded me the other day because they were talking about it on Reddit. Somebody mentioned that their last keyboard, which they had for 8 years, was a K55 Corsair, and it reminded me that that was my last keyboard before getting into the custom keyboard hobby. And I took it apart and used dielectric grease on the sliders or the keycaps, because the keycaps on the membrane keyboards, a lot of them have like a square or rectangle slider that kind of goes down, so you don't have this same type of mechanism with the cross. And it made it super smooth and silent, like silent AF. And I ended up giving it to a coworker, and then they left the company and they just left it around because he just wanted it to mess around with himself. So I play D&D with the guy. He's having a kid, so soon he will be enjoying Father's Day a little bit more, I think. I just couldn't. So, for me, a lot of the keyboard hobby, and I don't know about any of you guys, gals, persons, whatevers. For me, it is 90% sound when I'm typing on a keyboard. And that was the problem that I had with the Corsair, is that it just sounded like garbage. And ever since I got into the custom keyboard hobby, I have been chasing a specific sound, and it is mostly, it's going to be a deep sound, what it's got to be, and then this one, this gap, it's got to be a deep sound. Yeah. Maybe I could just be OCD. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of silent either. Like I have my Reds, and I ended up taking them out of the keyboard that I had them in, because it was just too quiet. And then tactility is after that. The feel of a keyboard is also very important and will affect me not wanting to use a keyboard. And that's really what, the end of the day, what I want is a keyboard that I want to type on, that makes me want to go and type more. Especially considering that my day is like 5 days a week typing tickets for IT help desk. So I have a lot of typing in my world, and then documentation, and then communication. We do a lot through chat. So, like, that's the other reason why I love trying to get my coworkers into keyboards, or at least into a keyboard. I've been doing IT help desk now for about 30 plus years. So I do not have a degree. I have built my brand on my extensive knowledge base of IT help desk that I've developed over these 30 years. And my general demeanor, which is a lot of people find to be pleasant. They know that I want to help them, and I do, genuinely, which is a big part of help desk. It's not always knowing the answer. It's making the client understand that even if you don't know the answer, you're going to find the answer, and that they, at the end of the day, are going to be taken care of. Because in IT help desk, doesn't matter. I'm curious. Anyway, at the end of the day, client wants to get help. You might want to try starting in an adjacent IT field, something that can lead you into IT help desk. I mean, at the end of the day, not many people actually want to spend their career in IT help desk. It's more of a stepping stone. For me, it's about helping people, and I like that. I'm not athletically talented. I'm smart, but I'm a smart ass. So, but again, I do have a way of making people understand that I will help them, and then I know IT, and I know computers. Because while I'm Gen X and I was not born into IT. In my mind, I was, because it's been a thing that I've always wanted since before I was able to own a computer. So I was lucky enough to know what I wanted to do with my life from kind of an early age. After I realized I wasn't going to become an astronaut, it was IT. Let's see. We do not want to continue on this path that I've chosen yet. we want to put in some switches because the PCB is possibly not screwed into the plate. And if that's the case, then if I take out all the switches, the PCB is not going to be there. It's going to fall. And at least it'll fall as much as it can with the foams and stuff inside. So we fill up all the open spaces that have been left by the switches that have come out as we've done this, and then we take out the remainder and we replace them. And so that's what we're going to do. The problem, I mean, I would love to give advice on getting into help desk, but I understand that the IT job market now is very different than the IT job market when I was first starting. It was a simpler time. I mean, it really kind of was, but I went through a lot of jobs before I got into IT too. I worked at a movie theater where I popped popcorn for a living. I pulled medical records. I was a Subway sandwich artist. Just flipped. My very first job was flipping burgers at Burger King. Worked at Walgreens. I've done a lot of things. Hey, is the music coming through all right? Or is it not coming through at all? That's right. Oh. Yes, it is supposed to be there. I will turn it up a little. Let me know if it gets too loud now. Let's try that again. You hear it less now. How about I go? I might blast y'all. Hold on. How about now? Nothing. Maybe I need to turn it. I really need to figure out how to do my music on my stream. Properly, that is. Yeah, I see that it's not doing anything. It's interesting. Let me see. Yeah, it's like it's purposefully not picking that up. Ooh, I know. This might be loud. Or not. Yep, that's loud. How about now? Now you should be getting some music. Like a boss, maybe? It might even be too much. Too much music? How about that? Is that a little bit more backgroundy? Is it still too much? I lowered it some more. How about now? Really doesn't look like it's putting out too much at all. Switches. Huh. You heard it all now? Huh. That's weird. How about now? Alright. I'm messing with the advanced audio settings inside of Slobs. I'm lowering the volume directly on the speaker, which is where I'm pulling the sound from. How about here? Is this good? So I figure once I find that setting, I can pretty much leave it be. How about now? Okay, good. And two more. Hey, I had 3, 6, 8 switches left. Which is almost exactly, well, actually, exactly how much I thought I should have. Sure. I think I asked this earlier. How's everybody doing today? drop everything. Drop everything! Let's go! Well, that's good that you survived yesterday's company picnic and got beers out of it. So that's a win. We had a work outing last week, but I was doing a ISP cutover, so I did not get to go. Currently, there is a small Captain American doll hidden in a box somewhere in my office that if anybody finds it, they get an Amazon gift card. I'm tempted to just go in there and just tear that place apart. Give me the gift card! Yeah, but you're still pretty young. You should bounce back. I remember my 30s, man. I went at it pretty hard. Fun times. But all of that led me here to building keyboards with you guys. I'd call that a win. That you should be Alt. You should be Control. Or F7. Here, Control. Yeah, I have a problem these days where I do not sleep past 5:30 a.m. No matter what time I go to bed, I do not sleep past 5:30. So if I go to bed at 8, which I don't do, I would wake up at 5:30. If I went to bed at 1, I would wake up at 5:30. If I went to bed at 4:30, I'd wake up at 5:30. I stopped setting alarms for work because I don't need to, and it would wake up my girlfriend. Weird. Some kind of weird internal clock thing going on. I don't like it. And then if I decide to take a cat naps last 15 minutes, and then I wake up. So keep in mind that the keyboard, this keyboard, comes in at around $70, I think, through Amazon or through their website. They wanted me to mention to you guys to go through their website, which I think it's just to avoid the extra Amazon costs, which I will endorse. However, if you want the Finickeys switches, that's going to tack on about another $40. And that is where we're at now. So, you come over here, container. We're going to put you in here. Well, it's good that you got the extra sleeve, though. That was nice. Okay. So now we are going to do a new sound test with the finicky switches in it. And that is everything else is stock. So let's go ahead and do it. One of those escaped. I think it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and I'm not going to use the cable. We will just go ahead and plug this into the side here. And now we have that. And let's go ahead and take a look at their software. I did install this prior. I hope it's the right one. It looks like it is. All right, so it saw the keyboard. Let me go add this. Add a source. Window capture, add source. Add a new source instead. It's not even going to work. It's not going to work. I can't show it to you. So this keyboard is not VIA compatible. It went up. Like to the ceiling? Oh. You mean this one? Thank you for that. So I won't be able to actually show you the software. The capture does not capture the interface, unfortunately. But we can. It has settings, but we want green because this is a green keyboard. We want greener than that. There you go. Let's see. Let's do something with the screen. Let's upload. Loading. We're gonna actually give it the thing. You know, if you're going to make an all green keyboard and it's only going to come in green, you should make these LEDs green. Just saying. You get the option to increase or decrease your polling rate for the USB from 1000 down to 125. This can save you with some of your power management. But we're still dealing with the screen here. I want to do things. Animation. Here we go. Animation. Desktop. How about... Show me what you got! There. Let's see if it works. It's going to be a little stretched out, but we're going to go with it. In the meanwhile, what do y'all think of the keyboard? Like I said, it's a 1800. It has a 1U0, but it's got a screen. Screen can be set to do GIFs. I think that the choice to make it so much of a smaller screen than the area that they have it is kind of a miss. But the screen clarity is nice. It looks pretty much like the exact same screen and screen interface as the screen on several other boards that I've seen, like the RD75, for instance, and the AC100 Max, which is the AJAS board. The keycap profile, it's odd that they only that these switches work with the stock keycaps, but did not work with my cherry keycaps. Yeah, I mean, they could have added another button or two. They could have, like you said, shifted it over here just a little bit, and then you'd have had space for two more buttons or something else, you know. Or just, you know, if they'd have pushed it diagonally from edge to edge, pretty much, it would have been much better. So let's see. Is it in here now? It sure is. And there we go. So let's have a little bit of Lucy action going on. Like I said, she's going to be stretched because I don't have one in the proper orientation, because that GIF is supposed to be square because it was going on to the Zoom 65 V3. But you can see the quality of the screen, and it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and we'll bring it even up here. It's kind of washed out, it looks like. Okay, we'll restart the music while I do this. But, I mean, it looks pretty nice in person. There, that's a little bit better. So, that is the Galatin Pro K719 by ReDragon with the finicky switches. I think with that change to the finickies, I think it really brought this keyboard out. Although in doing so, it added pretty much almost half again the cost of the board. Because the board is $70 and those switches cost me $40. So something to keep in mind. And let's move on to our next contestant. So this is a keyboard that I've had for a little bit and I've been experimenting with. This is the Agar. It is an HHKB 60%, which is why it has that area here that's open. Normally you would split the backspace, but I hate split backspace. And these are the Emma keycaps. And then there is this. Okay, switch it over. This wonderful copper, solid copper weight on the bottom adds a ton of weight to the keyboard, and then also it just looks so nice. Currently, give me 1 second. I should have had this info already queued up, and yet here we are. I gotta plug in. You can hear how it sounds right now with the current switches. You. Here they are. The current switches that are in here are the B-Sun Milk Tea Siam V2 switches that I purchased through Unikeys. If you are interested in these switches, you can use my affiliate link, which is, I believe, putting the Adept after. So it's www.unikeyboards.com/the Adept, and I will get credit for that. But let's take a look. Actually, let's take a quick sound test. So here is the keyboard as it starts, which is the B-Sun Milk Tea Siam switches with the PBT fans Emma keycaps on the full foam Agar, also by KBD fans. So that's the stock sound, and I thought it might be nice. Oh, and here, one of the funnest things about this is the keyboard is friction fit and connects to this little pogo pin connector, which you can see is attached by this FR4 like wavy cable to the daughter board, which I love. I think it's just so neat. And then we have our phone. Okay, get this back in there. Very hot. But like I said earlier, I like to pop out the PCB because when you are taking out switches, although first we're just going to test a couple of, I'm thinking of going deeper. Like it's kind of a deep sounding keyboard already. But I'm like, let's just go for it. While we're on the stream, we could just go for it. There is no RGB to get murdered by my Y3 switches, so that is good. And let's pop those in there. Drop this back in here like so. Push it down, and we're good to go. I mean, this is by far the best experience for me switching out the keyboard to do things. So here are the original switches, and here are the Y3s. Or I'm just going to do nothing to this keyboard because those switches sound exactly a freaking same. Yeah. Well, maybe. Let's see what else I got. I'm not going to do clickies. I'm not going to put the launchers back in right now. I'm going to put you guys on hold for a second. I'll be right back. Alright, well, let's see here. So I decided to try something a little bit different. We've got a couple of guys here that we're going to give a go. These are Briny by KeyGeek. I think they're even on sale right now through Unikeys. And let's see. Original, these are the B-Sons. And these are the Brinies. Nope. They sound worse. Well, she sounds hideous. Well, she's a guy. Sorry, Allstate commercial. Okay. These are the HMX SU color. This is what I like to call Switch Thunderdome. Just drop a bunch of different switches in here. See if they can beat out the switches that are in there already, which are these. And here are the SU colors. The Agar did come with foams, and I'll show you in just 1 second. We're going to put the V-Sun back in because nothing is topping these right now. It's not for my goals. And I kind of like the brown with the green. I think it looks pretty. So, yeah, I mean, I was looking for, I thought I had some HMX, which one's the Deep Navies, but I did not see them in my switches. So this is the foam that's in it right now. It is it looks like a pour-on. There is an IXPE sheet in here as well. And then there is this foam in the bottom, which is really just a really thin foam. And then it just drops in. I love it. So one of the things that really does work, that I'm just not using right now, is these. These are Akko and HMX collab switches. These are the Cilantro. And these are a really interesting and exciting switch. At least to me they are. Because it has a high bump. And so these are the original. And here's the Cilantro. So it kind of really gives it that higher, that bit of a higher pitched sound. I was planning on going lower, not higher. But these really work in it. Don't get me wrong. And I had them in there for a while. I'm just experimenting at this point because the Agar is so easy to work with. I'll probably end up having to buy another PCB because I'll be changing stuff around so much. So I'll probably ruin at least one of the hotspot ports in here. Especially if I keep up doing this, which I shouldn't do, and I know. A lot of my keyboards, for good or for ill, are almost exactly where I want them to be. Like, they have a sound that I like. This is due in no small part to my discovery of these switches. Funnily enough, and we can try these on here, but last time I did I did not care for the first encounter switches on this keyboard. Because I built it with it when I first got it, thinking that, you know, I love these switches, it's going to be perfect on here. But if I'm remembering correctly, it did not work. So these are the B-Suns. And here are the first encounter switches. Nope, I lied. These are really nice. If I rebuild the Galatin back to its original switches, I might build this out with, I don't know. It's still kind of high-pitched, which is kind of one of the things that it's high-pitched, but in a pleasant way. It has a good, clean sound to it that I find to be pleasant to type on, which is why I like the HDS. And why I've now bought, like, a lot of them. Don't tell Brent. I'm just kidding, she knows. I mean, this is a good sound, don't get me wrong, and I like these milk teas. I think that they had a pleasant, like a lot of the B-Sun switches I've been dealing with recently have, see, I don't find a lot of switches that generally, to me, sound the same. There are specific ones that have very similar materials, and so they tend to sometimes sound the same. But even then, there's going to be slight variances, obviously, that, I don't know, I'm either imagining or I'm actually hearing, who knows. But like there is a it's a very common thing for people to talk about foam sound, like it makes everything sound the same. And it's very common, and I find that, well, I find it to be, I'm just going to say, I find it to be pretentious and insulting to me. Because I like the foam sound, and it is just the same, in my opinion, as people who prefer a non-foamed, clacky build. And I find that the keyboards, well, I find that the keyboards do not sound the same, and I find that foam boards do not sound the same. Not sponsored by Coke Zero, but I would take it if they offered. So I find keyboards that are too clacky to be as bad as a lot of my of other boards that I like. Silent boards are silent, and you can't really dislike silent. I mean you can. It's just, it's silent. It's not annoying in a way that foamy is to some people, or that clacky is to others. But, you know, I find that clacky keyboards are like someone with long fingernails tapping on glass, like, constantly at me. And so if it's me that's doing that typing, it's still as good. So, like a good clean, yeah, well, it depends on how the silents achieve their silentness. If they have a problem with the silicone dampeners that are often used in the switches, which is, I think, what you're talking about, yes, because you'll get that mushy feeling. I think you already mentioned that. I need to Google what misophonia is, because I'm not sure that I know specifically. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, so I gotta connect the keyboard. Yes, I think that most people have misophonia then. If you go super flexy, then you get some of your flex back when you fill it with foams. I've also been known to slice my PE sheet along the horizontal flex cut lines, which gives me some of that back. Yeah, screaming babies, Karens. I mean, there's a lot of things that a lot of people find super annoying as far as sounds go, and clacky keyboards. I wouldn't say it inspires hatred. Maybe some anxiety. I might go with that. But let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to show off today? Ooh, what can I show off today? Oh, I know. Going in a slightly different direction. I just recently changed out the switches in the Molly. If y'all are not familiar with the Molly is essentially it's a 60% with a numpad. I have a new keyboard that's coming, which is called the Balance 103. Let's go ahead and bring that up. You're not gonna do anything for me today. Come on. Why aren't you doing anything now? Now you're just being a pain. Now you're just looking for attention. I swear it was working yesterday. Gosh, gee. Golly. Well, I guess I'll figure you out later. That's a project. And by the way, the weight. We love the weight. Let's see here. What do we got? easily. Oh. So, we've got this. This is the one that I did last week on stream. Going with a clackier build. This is the Wilmir RD75 keyboard. With no foams and GMK Metropolis keycaps. The RGB is all turned off because the reason why this keyboard got replaced by Wilmir was because they kept having an RGB problem. They sent me an entirely new keyboard and told me to keep the existing one, so I did. There we go. So this is probably about as clacky as I would ever want to get. Here we go. So I just ordered this. This is the Balance 103. It is a, I ordered the blue with the gold bottom. It is essentially a 75% keyboard with a numpad. Let's go. And you can see here that it has 2 keys here and then 4 keys down the side. So you could effectively have, if you wanted, your delete, print screen, page up, page down, or home, page up, page down, and end, which you need to do in that order because of keycap heights. But then you would have all your keys in a condensed format with all of your function row. So you would have everything, and it looks like this. It's really nice. I've gotten a shipping notification, but it's not in the hands of the shipper yet. So this should be showing up probably not by the next stream, but the following stream, which will actually be on the 6th. No. It will actually be on the 13th. On the 29th, we have a keyboard meetup, and on the 6th, I will be at Denver Fan Expo watching all of the cast of The Flash, which is awesome, including Cisco, who named half the villains. Anyway, yeah, so it's a pretty simple keyboard, box on wedge, but with the bottom piece, that is aluminum, not brass or copper for the bottom, as opposed to some of the other keyboards that are out right now. But also, as you can see, it is only $169. But yeah, it's a nice, nice board. I'm looking forward to it. That is VIA and QMK compatible. I don't know if it's going to be natively. Like this is supposed to be VIA QMK compatible, but you got to do your JSON file. And that is unfortunate. So Wilmir, and I think I've actually talked to Wilmir about this. Just like I've been talking to EPO Maker, who says it's on their roadmap. Now, whether or not it's actually on their roadmap, who knows? But yeah, here. about a quick sound test. I think I'm going to be wrapping up the stream. So this is the Womir RD75 Pro with, good question. Still a good question. Oh, really? Okay. These are the Muyu Fuyi switches. I'm butchering that. Anyway, surprise. Who knew? And here is that sound test for one of my clackiest builds I currently own. So I think it's really nice to show off that this budget build, which features the ball catch system, and I have done no modifications as far as force breaking or anything, but it sounds really nice. I did do a tape mod to it though, but and it's using their silicone, I guess sock gaskets. I think there's a different word that they like to use for it, which uses little nubs on the gaskets that rest in these positions. You could also do the same thing if you take these off. There are dumbbell gaskets that come in it originally, and you could put those in as well. If you wanted to, that sucks. I guess there are them around. And again, for the money, this is a pretty good board. This is more just for this. Well, not counting the fact that these are $130 keycaps that I have on here. But you know, those keycaps cost basically the cost of the board. Because you can get the RD75 right now. Oh, plug it back in. You could do wireless, and the wireless dongle is actually in this container at the bottom, which is nice. But why are you being like that? Womir keyboard. Just find the website. There we go. Yeah, you can actually get it for 119. So this keyboard is actually cheaper stock than the keycaps that are on it. And that's always funny. The switches are cheap though. If you're interested in those, I can always send you a link. I think that the Metropolis colorway works with the blue of this case. But still, you get an aluminum case with, but it's 75%. You could do this if you like the 1800 with the switches that I put on it for still about $20 cheaper. Yeah, I No, that's what I paid for it. I'm saying that they're $130 keycaps. I did not pay $130 for them. I got them for $50 when they went on sale last Black Friday. I got the Metropolis and I got Analog Dreams. Just recently on their big novel key sale, I picked up Stargaze for $99. And I'm really excited about that. But apparently, I did not realize that those were not in stock. Like, they don't have them. They're at the GMK factory in Germany. So it's not actually shipping until the end of July. So I'll get Stargaze right about on time, hopefully, to put them into my ASCII F, which, you know, is cool. If you haven't seen the ASCII F keyboard, gotta plug it in again. Keep on typing without a cable. Oh no, we go to the keycap. There we go. This is Inamushiki, also known as Frank. This is the keyboard that he designed. And this is the hot swap layout, which is the layout that I have gone with. This is similar to that, to the balance, as far as the key layout. However, the design of the case is much more, let's see, where to go. Those are the one I want. You're not the one I want. You're not the one I want. So I think I went with the black, no, I think I went with the beige top and the black bottom. I'm not seeing a picture for here. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn back on the music as usual. Yes, e-beige, aluminum black, which they do not have a color. Which is funny, there's no render for that. Oh, here we go. So this is the one, the very top one is the one that I'm going to be getting, which is the e-beige top and black bottom, which I thought was very, because what they're going for is very retro style, and I did not get the wrist rest because I don't use them. I thought about getting the black top, silver bottom, but I decided against it. I did not get the brass because brass was super expensive. So kind of like this, but you can see like the venting on the side where you have the peek through at the bottom. I got to see this in person at the local Colorado keyboard meetup, which if you're in the Colorado area and you like keyboards, we have one coming up at the end of the month on, I think it's the 29th. Yes, on the 29th at localhost in Lakewood at 3 p.m. But yeah, that's really cool. keyboard. But let's bring this back around and bring this up. So our next stream will be the EqualMaker Split 65. We'll be doing an unboxing of that, as well as some people might find this all get out, by the way. And as usual, funny story, when you whenever you plug in a keyboard that has this specific firmware OS on it or whatever, it goes back to the time date. Then you have to go and scroll until you see return, hit return, and then you get your graphic back. It's that way on every one of the keyboards that has this particular OS on it, firmware on it, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that is the stream, and we will close out with a little bit more sound testing. But actually, let me see. Is there someone? Can we raid someone? Raid? Anybody raid right now? It doesn't look like. Yeah. Okay. Nope. Yeah. Enjoy your Milmaxing, Dingo, and I'll see you in the Discord. Thanks for joining me. And as always, I appreciate you guys and showing up and hanging out with me on Sundays at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And I will be on streaming next week, but then I'll be out the following 2 weeks and back again on the 13th of July. So again, thanks for... Oh! I'm actually going to do a Saturday stream next Saturday, because I will be just hanging out at the house doing keyboard stuff anyway, so I may as well. Yeah, everybody have a great week, and hopefully I'll see y'all next weekend. Enjoy. Bye.